city. I wanted to know about the Nephilim, these giants.
Giants lived it.
That was
And lust after the woman, them
that was
daughters of men.
going into the daughters of men and bringing forth giants.
Giants, yeah.
Who was these giants? How come giants
In the earth.
come in the earth?
Nephilim.
Where them come from?
Yes.
I wanted to know about Lucifer
Yes.
and why Lucifer rebelled against God. And why did it seem, or why was it made to seem as though Lucifer was equal to God?
Yes.
When Michael tell Gabriel to go and bind Lucifer and fling him at the pit. If Lucifer was not equal to Gabriel, he definitely was not equal to Michael, and definitely not equal to God. So why? Who was he then? What level was he really on?
Well, this book answers these questions. The gaps in the Bible are answered by the Urantia book. When we come back, Patter's wife will be on set. This is Religious Hard Talk. Pater Banton continues his stories, joined by his wife. And she could have a program all of her own. She herself is an accomplished musician. She has played in bands backing up many of our artists, DJs, dancehall artists, rocksteady artists from the late Delroy Wilson to Gregory Isaacs, who you worked with for a number of years. Alton, you worked with Sister Carol. Well, so many things to talk about. But I want to get back to you, Pato. So you were mentioning some of the things that the Urantia book answered that the Bible sort of left hanging.
Yes.
And Michael, can you be that Michael, Jesus?
Yes. I came to, before I even found the Urantia book, I'd come to an understanding after reading the book of Revelations that Michael was Jesus.
Okay.
And nobody told me that, and I had no proof of that, but I had that inspiration come to me. So when I found the Urantia book, it confirmed everything that, it answered every question and confirmed everything that I had revealed to me without the book.
And you have had a peace since you have accepted Urantia?
Yes.
Pato?
Yes.
And your whole music has been influenced?
Yes.
The songs that you
My life has been influenced.
Your life has totally changed?
Yes, that's when I started to write the album Life is a Miracle. I decided to leave the record labels because they wanted me to do commercial music. And I decided to do this album Life is a Miracle in my own studio, inspired by the teachings of the Bible and the Urantia book.
Yes.
And it got me a Grammy nomination. And it proved to me that you don't have to succumb to the pressure of the industry to achieve good things and great things.
And you came to embrace monogamy.
Yes.
One woman.
I never know what monogamy was till I find the Urantia book. I never heard that word.
When you read the Urantia book, you saw the word monogamy. You go look it up.
I read the word monogamy, and it says
what it says?
Monogamy is the highest standard that a man can achieve. One woman with one man, and it is best for the children. And it says there is a certain delicacy, there is a certain sentiment, a beauty of sentiment that can only be achieved when you are loyal to one person. And that blew my mind, and I wanted to know what that was. And I wanted to live up to the highest standards that was required of me. I was challenged to change my life from being who I was to who I could be. And then the 1/4 of the book is dedicated to the life of Jesus. It talks about Jesus' entire life, who he was before he came to this planet, and who he is in his rightful rulership right now. And Jesus inspired me to follow him and to become more like him. And in the Bible, it says, who would be great must become a minister to all. And it says that in the Urantia book too. And when Jesus comes and says, I have not come to destroy the law or take anything away,
to fulfill.
but to fulfill it. And Jesus' words are in here saying that too. And I believe the Urantia book, most Urantia book people that you meet, they will tell you that this is not a religion for them.
That's what it is.
They don't claim.
I know it.
A lot of Urantians I know won't even talk to you about the book. They are Christians that go to church. And they study the book. They go to church and they study the book privately and secretly, because it gives them the inspiration they need and answers the questions within their construct.
So you would say Urantians are Christians. They're really, well, Christians who have...
The Urantians are Christians.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, because Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.
That's right.
His life and teachings have been expanded and illuminated.
Illuminated by the book.
When you have the Sermon on the Mount in the Bible,
Yes.
it's like a small piece.
You get the full
In
thing
here is pages that was missed. And everything that he said during his life that was not recorded is recorded. And what was recorded is expanded. So
a lot of his sayings are here.
all of his sayings are
All
here.
of his sayings are
Every
here.
single saying that you have in the Bible is in this book, and much,
And a lot of what is not in the Bible
much more.
that Jesus
Yes.
spoke about, his experiences, they are here.
They are here. There is not 1 year of his life that is not in
Covered.
here.
When he was 15, when he was 16,
every
it's covered
single
in
year, because the angels on this planet have always been here. Before Adam and Eve was here, the angels was here preparing.
The angels were here before?
Yes. And when Adam and Eve came, they came with angels, and from the time from Adam and Eve to now,
You have angels still.
angels are still here, and they are still available to us.
And we can commune with them. You commune with
And,
angels?
and we can communicate with them. I would not claim
Okay.
to you that I communicate with angels.
But it's possible.
But
Human
I
beings.
would say that if the time was necessary for me to communicate with an angel, if an angel needed me to do something at a specific moment in time, and they needed me to see them visibly, to shake me, to make me know, say, yo, this is serious, you need to do this, then it would be available, just like it was to the prophets of old. But just like the prophets of old, you know what happened to nearly all of them when them come saying, the angel tell me this or the angel tell me that. The same thing happened to Jesus. When Jesus comes saying, this is the expanded truth. You have a truth, but now I'm going to expand it. And you remember who was the people that stood in Jesus' way. It wasn't the average people out the road.
Yeah, they learned, the scholars.
It
and
was
so
the
on.
scholars, the one who knew the most.
Antoinette, you began working with Pater in a professional capacity before you became romantically involved.
Yes.
As you observed him, what was it about Pater that drew you? What
Well,
you observed about him?
What just
on
like when
tours,
he
yeah.
spoke about his library, I like intellectual people.
Person. Oh, you like it?
Yes, I like that type of personality. People who like to discuss things. People like to reason.
Yes.
And have intelligent conversations. And having the kind of conversations with him many times on science, philosophy, religion, politics, and then seeing the kind of effect that he had on other people. He has a very stay positive attitude in his music. It's always clean. There's no profanity. There's no twerking. There's no violence in any of the music or any of the songs. And then the people always come away with something more than what they actually came there with. A renewed sense of energy, a new sense of positivity, a new thing of love, a little bit more of service, all the different things that Bob Marley always spoke about in his music. And it was nice to sit there and see that he could actually unite people, because he's internationally known. And you have a lot of variety of people, whether they're Americans or they're Asians or South Americans. And it's like, if you can still unite the people, even in their own different language, that they feel something that's going to touch them from
But
inside.
what was it about him himself and your close observation of him that impressed you? Did you see women going after him? And
yes, all the time, because I've been in this business for over 20 years, so I've seen a lot of different things that happen on the road. And one of the few things that you don't see with an artist is one that who doesn't drink and who doesn't smoke, and he doesn't smoke herb anymore. I mean, he did maybe back in the days and stuff, but he was always very focused. And
so after a show, what would he do? He would go read rather than go out with women?
well, he'd go and talk to the fans, and then he would go and study. He's always reading. He's always studying. He always has a book with him. He's always wanting to learn more, seek more truth, and have a little bit more knowledge and everything. So.
And eventually you came to embrace Urantia also.
I did, and that kind of changed my life as well, too, because my thing as a musician is just to really enjoy myself, play the music, have a lot of fun, and just, it's a very materialistic type of life if you live a life as a musician. So it changed for me because he's a man of service, and he's a minister, And that brought me into that kind of capacity as well, too, because I wasn't about trying to be a minister, and I wasn't trying about serving anybody, you know, other than serve myself.
Yeah, pleasure.
Yeah, it's like, because it's like, who wants to do those things? Yes. But he really made it so enjoyable, you know, so the things that I started to learn from him about how he lived his life and why he was so happy in his life, is like, that's so important. It's like, there's so much drama and depression and different things going on in life, and it's like, why cannot people find happiness in their life?
And he has a contentment.
Yes,
You've seen him with that
because he
contentment.
has a purpose. It's like, once you find a purpose and you know who you are and where you want to go, you have everything that you want to live for all the time. So he's like that all the time.
We're going out, Pato. How would you summarize the message of the Urantia?
If I was to summarize the Urantia book, it would be that all people of every faith are children of God, and that through faith that they are a child of God, they are saved. And, you know, no matter what denomination you are, if you have faith in God, you are a child of God. It's that simple.
But if you want the full revelation of God, this is where it is.
Yes.
You can't be satisfied in your religion. There is more.
I would say that if you have a religion, you're good. If you are happy with the religion you have and happy with the truth you have, that's all you need. But if you are an inquisitive person that is looking for more than is within the book that you have right now, the best place I would suggest is that you take a look in the Urantia book and find the answers that you're looking for. And it's a book for truth seekers. It's not for everybody.
No, nobody.
And it's not a religion, and there's no benefit to your soul to have this book. The only benefit to your soul is to have a relationship with God and to live a clean life. That is your benefit. But this book will benefit the person who is intellectually dissatisfied with what is on the planet, and they are looking for something more.
If you want answers, Urantia, on Religious Hardtalk, we expose you to the wide variety of religious perspectives that are out there. This is your program of comparative religious knowledge. Great to have had you, Pato and Antoinette. Next week, I'll be back. And next week, we're going to have Glacia Robinson, a remarkable story of healing. She'll be doing a concert in Jamaica, first time in nearly 20 years. She's going to be here with me next week. This is an interview that I've wanted for all of these years. Glacia Robinson on Religious Hardtalk next week. Until then, Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant evening.